Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. It is Tuesday. I like every day, but Tuesday's special because we get to talk to the lumberjack. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Mike. Super excited to be here. And I think we're tackling three pretty important topics today.
Oh yeah, the third one. We're gonna get a little agitated, but this is the main course here. It's really where I think we are today, and I think where we're going to be for at least a year.
Yeah,
I think consumer inflation is double digits. It's north of 10%. I do not see it cooling down. I see the official numbers eventually reporting something over 8% the way they manage them, which means we're probably going to get to 12 or 13 or 14%. I think this is going to happen for the next year or so at least. And I think Christmas is going to be eye-opening because we as at least American consumers, and likely this will be worldwide, we're not going to see store shelves as full as they've used to. I've already seen pictures of, it's kind of like last March or April when people were going and taking pictures of the toilet paper and, water aisles and stuff like that. Now it's showing up in very odd places.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the case for a while. And I just wanted to ask, okay, inflation's 10%. Let's say it averages 10% for the next couple of years. I've said before, no one can beat inflation, not the 1%, not the, no one can beat it. But what do you do, man? I mean, what do you think? I don't know if you've even thought about it.
Yeah, so I've thought a little bit about it. So I think first is rents are going to go up a lot, right? And correct me if I'm wrong because you're the economist. So CPI, rent is part of CPI.
Yeah, it's 33% of CPI, rent equivalent.
And right now, that's only showing as a 2% increase.
Yeah, just stupid. Yes.
That's not true.
No, it's not. It's
true.
Damn near fraud.
It's not true.
It's fraud. Yeah.
It's not true. Because I can tell you in the last month, I have had 4 units hit the market, and the lowest one over last year's rent, the lowest went up 23%. That was the lowest.
That's
the highest.
That's not
was
2.
Almost 40%.
Yeah, that's not 2%.
It's not 2. And so the issue is that I don't necessarily believe the CPI number, but I'm not an economist, so I just look at the parts that I understand, which is the rent piece.
Yep.
So I believe what's going to happen is I think rents are going to be up significantly. I think the cost of all the things we consume, gas, food, you name it, it's all going to be up. And I think that there will be wage inflation, but I think that will be slower than inflation.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to put people in a worse position. And I think that the Fed is largely, they're going to have to start tapering. I mean, my bet with that guy for 10 grand about them not tapering until 2023, like that is found money. I'm just waiting for them to announce that they're tapering so I can send them a nasty message.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a couple of things when I think about this, right? And again, I'm trying to be someone, not us, right? We own a bunch of real estate, fixed rate debt. Inflation is our friend, right? The only way you can, because again, nobody beats it, but you can use it. And we use inflation every day. And it will be fine. Debt is fixed, rents go up. Anyways, we're fine. But I think about the individual consumers, right? Or I think about myself at 30. The first thing you need to do as an individual out there is you need to make sure that you're getting what you can from your salary or your wage, right? Wage inflation is real. You can stay at your job maybe and get a 3, 4, 5% bump. Shoot, Social Security is giving you a 5.9% bump. That's not enough. If inflation's 10% and you get a 5% bump, you're losing.
Yeah.
You probably need to change jobs, right? Staying where you are gives you a little bit. You change careers, change employers, you get a lot of it. At least that was my experience. I think that's probably one of the reasons we're seeing a lot of people quit and find new jobs. You have to do it. You have to beat inflation. Again, if inflation's 10 and you get 5, you lose. You feel good about 5, but you lose. That's one. Number 2, you've been given a gift. I believe the 30-year mortgage rate is artificially low. I think it is entirely Fed induced. I think normally speaking, rates would be 5, 6, 7%, but who knows? They're there now. They're buying mortgage-backed securities and they've pushed rates low, low, low. It won't be that way forever. So get on the property ladder somehow, some way. If you're a first time home buyer, watch the first video, go buy a quad, try or do. Yeah. And get fixed rate money for as long as you can. If you're in the US, that's 30 years. If you're in Canada, maybe it's 5, but go get 30-year money as cheap as you can for as long as you can. And this sounds weird, right? Saving money in an environment where inflation is up, because again, that eats into this.
Sure.
But I do believe in some of the channels. I think it was, what's his name? The economist, the Ninja economist, Ninja,
Yeah.
whatever.
Economic Ninja.
Economic Ninja. He actually had a video I watched, I don't know, it was about a month ago. It basically talked about, hey, I'm going to buy all their stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some truth. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. Basically, what he was saying is there's a lot of people living high and mighty, right? I know lots of people in my like little network that have bought cars that are above their means. And they bought them new. I mean, geez, what a stupid financial move. And it's their third car, right? So it's a nice to have, not a requirement.
Yeah.
So I think the economic ninja had a point, right? If you build cash now, a la Jamie Dimon, you can sit on it for a little while and then pick up some stuff that you really want cheap, because that
like a Lamborghini,
like a Ferrari that suddenly is collecting dust because you can't afford to insure it or maintain it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the economic ninja had a point in his video a month ago about there's going to be a lot of people that are bought some toys that they can't appreciate. So don't buy toys was what I would tell you now. Stack cash. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking what I'm doing, what I would tell my 30-year-old self. How's that all feel?
Yes. I mean, both you and I refied a lot. We sold some stuff. Yeah. I mean, I sold some stuff because I was like, this is top of the asset class or pretty darn close.
Yeah.
I don't need to get every last dime out of it. Kind of the Norris Drive idea, which is, I'm within 10% or maybe 15% of where it's going to be. Hey, whatever.
Good enough, right?
Close enough.
I'm going to take my chips off the table and go back to my room.
Yeah. Exactly. Every single time, every day that passed was more risk. And it was just like, time to jump. And so there were those assets in my area that we got out of. I mean, I think
on purpose.
I was reflecting on it, and I'm like, we only have 2 single-family homes in our entire portfolio now.
And the reason that is important, we've talked about it before, but if people didn't watch it, is your affordability, a la Norris Drive, got to a point you're like, red flag, 4. Yeah, 4 is not good.
As low as 1, and then the next month bounced up to 4, and then stayed consistent the following month.
Yeah, 4 is not good.
No, it's horrible. And so it was understanding that guys that get really good at this understand that there's different asset classes in real estate, and they pivot from one to the other because they're never always all up.
Exactly.
Right? They're never always all up the same.
Exactly. People don't realize, right? Houses, dupes through quads, and then 5 to 20, and then 20 to 100. All of them have their own cycle.
100%.
They have their own kind of lending market. Right. They're just different. And if you can dance through raindrops, a la do the work every day.
Yep.
You just take the chips off the table like I did in 06. Thank God, like you've done now. Yep. And you're moving into an asset that is still going up. It's a genius move. And this is what you do if you see inflation coming. Yeah.
I think that's the best that you can do, right? Is that you get out of assets that have, there might be some left, but there's not as much left as there are in others. Yeah. But you go collect more assets that have more rent, because rent is going to go. How much rent do you get in a house? 1. How many rents do you get in a 4-plex? 4. How many rents do you get in your 12 or 13-plex you just bought? Right. Go spread that out. It's genius. So we looked at it too, Mike. And the other thing to think of and consider as well is in both of those deals that we just did. So we just did 2 commercial deals. So one was a 9 and one was a 12 unit.
Okay. 12. Yeah.
The 12 unit is going to be a 40% return on capital.
Return on the rock, as you call it.
The rock. It's going to be 40% return on capital. And the 9 is going to be 31. Now that's the only reason that I was willing to do, honestly, a commercial deal.
Yeah, of course.
Because the risk, the interest rate risk, I'm talking the truth. The interest rate risk is scary to me.
Yeah. You got 5 years fixed or 7?
7 on one, 5 on the other.
Yeah.
And so because of that, and the other thing too that we did in was we also worked with the bank to work in that there's no penalty to refi with them within
nice.
that 5 years.
Okay.
So if I go somewhere else, I got to pay a penalty. If I keep it with them, I don't.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
I'll be watching things over the course of the next 6 to 12 months, and I will probably refi. At that point, if I think that's really scary, then I'll refi the 5 to a 7 or maybe to a 10. And then I'm going to be at 4.25 or 4.5 because I'm locked in at, on the one that I got 5, I'm 3.75.
That's yeah. You just got to watch it, right? I'm lucky enough to be at the end of this, and I was so afraid of where rates could be. I took all my commercial and put them in 30-year fixed. I paid up to do it.
Really? All your big buildings?
Yeah, 18 units, 210s.
Wow.
All of them are 30-year. I'm like, I want no risk. I want to de-risk all of this.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And what did you go from rate to rate?
So on the 18, we were at 3.75. I think we're at 4.5. It might be 4 and 5/8. I think it's 4 and 5/8. So what is that? 4.625, but it's fixed for 30 years. And I had to pay a point to get it to that rate. Right. Again, I'm going to hold the building until I die. It's one of those assets that's like, that's Teresa's.
Yes.
So I paid the point because I just prepaid interest basically. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. All of my debt, all of it now is 30-year fixed. All of it. Just finished the last one.
How's that for conviction in what we believe?
Yeah. Again, I share everything I'm doing. So yeah, it's like I've taken all my apartments. It's all 30-year money now. So.
I have 3. I only have 3 or 4 left out of 32 or 3. I only have 3 or 4 left that are not fixed.
Yeah. So again, what you do if you see 10% inflation coming for a couple of years, because again, eventually we're going to have higher rates. You might want to refi some debt. If you have any variable rate debt, you might want to at least look at it. Yeah. Oh, dude, let's just say this. If you have an adjustable rate mortgage on a residential property, stop that.
Yeah.
Fix it. Right.
Fix it.
Yeah. Fix it immediately. If you're in a commercial, do the math. Sometimes it makes sense. I was so afraid and admittedly in a lucky position that I'm like, I'll eat it. Right. I'll reduce my cash flow a little bit in the short term, but yeah. So those are things I think we do.
What we also do, Mike, and I think the other option too here is on this, is that expecting things are going to be like that, the return on capital that I'm going to get in those, I will use the return on capital there and other properties to pay down faster because that way
de-risk it.
Exactly. De-risk it 100%.
Yeah. I love that. All right, folks, this is what's going on. 10% inflation. It hits everyone. Your gas goes up, right, Matt?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Your food goes up.
Yeah, we're $3.48 a gallon right now.
I think we're $4.99 the last time I went.
Of course you are.
California. Good old Gavin. In fairness, that one's not really on him. It's lots of other stuff, but I just want to blame him because it's fun. All right, buddy. How can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and 11:30 a.m. Eastern time this Sunday, 3 hours of real estate palooza, questions and answers and ideas and product that we review and all that fun stuff.
And folks, you've got to pay attention to video number 3. I have a feeling that Matt's going to get a little agitated.
Mike is so setting me up to start screaming at the camera. It's not even funny.
All right, everybody, take care and look for episode number 3. Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike.